I love to take the Greek classics and reinvent them. And in this recipe, I'm taking a perfect Greek couple, yogurt and honey, and making a panna cotta with that. The first thing we want to do is soften up the gelatin with a little bit of milk. So I'm just going to sprinkle the gelatin over this. We want to let it bloom a little bit, let it soften. It doesn't need to be stirred or anything. Get that off to the side. That's going to sit there for about 10 minutes. I'm going to heat the milk next. And next, the cream goes in. And we want to heat that very, very gently. Next in some orange zest. I'm going to use 2 pieces of orange zest. I just love the flavor and the aroma of orange. Goes right in. And a little bit of Greek honey. And I'm using my good Icarian thyme honey for this. Look how thick and viscous and golden this is. So I just want to get that honey dissolved into this. I'm about to add the gelatin. I'm going to do that by taking the pot off the heat first. And we want to whisk that together. And we are going to strain it in a second just to get any clumps that might be in here out. We want a nice, smooth and velvety yogurt panna cotta. Ready to strain this. You can see those clumps. The fine mesh sieve is catching exactly what it needs to catch. This is beautiful. It's nice and silky, which is exactly what we want. And I'm going to add vanilla bean yogurt next. We're adding 2 cups of vanilla bean yogurt. I'm going to whisk this together to get it nice and smooth. You want to do that gently to keep it from splattering. I'm pretty much ready here to get this into the cups. I can see how beautiful and creamy this is, and I just want to show you the consistency. It's really thick and creamy, and you see how it coats the back of that spoon? That's what we're looking for. You want to fill this about 2/3 of the way up. These take about an hour to set. You can just as easily do it a day before. I'm going to move this over to the fridge. Okay. While the panna cotta is setting, I'm going to make the topping. I'm just making a little bit of a very Greek topping, which is walnuts, raisins, some apple, cinnamon, and a little sugar. We just want a rough chop on the walnuts. We want some nice texture. I'm going to toast the walnuts. It's the first step in making the topping. The frying pan is already warmed up. We want a little heat on the walnuts. That helps bring out all their essential oils, and the nuts are much more flavorful that way. I'm getting really nice walnut perfume here. A little bit of olive oil goes in next. And the apples. Stir that all around. It might seem more intuitive to add butter to the apples, but we use olive oil a lot in Greek baking and Greek sweets. The raisins go in next. These are actually Greek currants. You can use any dark seedless raisin. A little pinch of salt. Some brown sugar. Get that stirred. The apples will start to release their own moisture, and this is going to be nice and syrupy in a few minutes. And one last thing, another very Greek spice, especially with walnuts, a bit of cinnamon. So this is a little bit of apple pie meets Greek yogurt panna cotta. And the beautiful juices in the apple with the brown sugar are going to caramelize, and we're going to get a really luscious topping. The apples are looking really good. You want to keep this moving in here because you don't want the sugar to totally caramelize. You don't want apple candy. You want it to be juicy. The apple topping is done. The panna cotta is set. And it's time to introduce it to our little apple pie topping here. I love to cook for my friends. Really one of life's greatest pleasures for me. And I try to do different things each time I have people over. I think this looks really pretty. The next thing is a little bit of Greek honey right over the top. I've got a little bit of a Carian thyme honey here. It's really thick. And thyme honey is a little bit lighter than pine honey, for example, which is also popular on the island. And it's very, very aromatic. And just a little bit of garnish, just some fresh mint. A little bit of contrast. The dessert's ready, and you know I'm going to taste this before I serve it to everyone else. I'm impressed. This is delicious. The yogurt has just a hint of sweetness. The contrast with the topping, the crunch, the juiciness of the raisins, the apples, it all works really, really well together.